Right, morning everyone, welcome back to the van. So today it is bloody horrendous outside, there's a storm, so I'm gonna hopefully wire up some 12-volt spotlights that I've bought to go under these units. So I've just bought from 12-volt Planet some of these low profile surface mounted ones to go up there. And they come with, I did order some other ones, but they were just awful, so I threw them away and I've ordered these, but they've got these really thin cable on the back. So I've bought some 1mm red and black to go with it. A bit of heat shrink, another light. I've got 4 in total, 2 for the bedroom end and 2 for the kitchen end. And I want 2 to run on one switch and 2 to run on another switch, just so that, because I get up pretty early, so the first thing in the morning I like to do is have a cup of tea. So if Emily's asleep, I just want to be able to turn on lights down that end, just so they're not like right in her face. So I need to link 2 in parallel up there to a switch here, and then 2 in parallel at the bedroom end to a switch there. So I've bought some of these non-insulated female blade terminals. I've not used them on insulated ones yet, so we'll see how they go. Some screws, and then I've bought some of these, also from 12-volt Planet, who have been brilliant on the phone, I've got to say. So these are like a 3-way blade terminal, male ones. So I'm going to have one coming from the lights, and then one coming from the other lights, and then one, so that'll link them there, and then that one will return back to the switch. So I'll need 2 per pair of lights, I think. So, but I'm failing to see how, once I've fitted my blade terminal, how I push it on, because they're quite, look, they're quite far down in there. That's the entry hole, and then I've got to get all the way down there. So I don't know, I'm going to have a go at the first one, and then once I've figured it out, hopefully, if I figure it out, I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to YouTube how to do these crimp terminals, because I don't know. Oh, his videos are way better than mine. Okay, so I'm gonna sight them at the back of the cupboards rather than the middle, just because it means I can run my cable along the back then without any flapping around in the middle. But before I connect this up to these, which looks like it's going to be tricky, I'm going to drill it in, otherwise I've got to drill a pretty big hole to feed that through as well, so I'll drill it in and then try and connect these in the cupboard. But yeah, so hopefully it works, because once I've drilled the hole, Emily spent like 2 days painting it, so let's hope for the best. So that's it there, and then I've just drilled a hole, and that's the 2 cables coming out, and then I can just link these up all along this back batten and then just run a conduit there, rather than having, if I had to put it in the middle, I'd have to have cable conduit going to the back there to then run it across. So yeah, now all I need to do is crimp my terminals on in the cupboard, which is going to be a pain, but yeah, I'll go ahead and do that and then come back to you, I think, because I'll probably swear a fair bit. Right, so I've ended up using the insulated terminals to crimp onto the wire, because those non-insulated ones were just ridiculous, but these seem to fit in there just fine. So I've got the positive of one light going to this one. I'll have the positive from the other light going into the same side, and then that gives me a 1 positive out, which will run back to my switch and then run back to the fuse box. So I've done the same here with the negative. Now what I've done with this one is I've used the hacksaw and I've cut these down, because it was quite hard, because you run out of like terminal to hold on to push in, so I had to sandwich the wire in to squeeze it in, and I just don't think that's a good idea. So no doubt someone will shoot me down for cutting that down, but you know, they're in a place where I can see them, so it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead, fit the other light up the other end. I'll have to join some cable to that one using a little butt connector, which I'll show you when I've done it, but that's crimp as well. And then I'll have to run them back to this, and then I'll be ready to run the wires back to the switch. So yeah, I'll get that done and then we'll come back. Right, it's taking forever. I thought it was going to be like a 5-minute job, turns out it's not, but I'll show you where I'm at and then I'm almost ready to get them connected up, so we'll see. Let's have a look. Right, so got one spotlight sighted there, and then out of that comes my positive and negative, positive being the red, negative in this case is white. I've then had to use a butt connector in there, I don't know if you can see that, but that's just like another crimp terminal. You just crimp one on one end, crimp the other one on the other end, strip them first obviously, to join those up so I can extend the cable. The cable then runs through the adjoining cupboard, so I've got positive, negative there. I will put all this in conduit once I'm finished, but I'll wait till it's finished. And then I come into this cupboard, which is where I've got these 3-way blade terminals. So I've got all my positives. I've got the positives from the lights coming into the double side, and then a positive going out, and then the same for the negative. I've got a negative from each light going into the double side and a negative coming out. Then they come through this cupboard. I need to pull them through some more, and then into here. And then out of here so far I've got a negative, positive, sorry, that I'll need to crimp a terminal on to go onto the switch. I'll then run a positive off of that to the fuse box, and then I've dropped my negative down, which runs down there, behind there, through this cableway, which I will tidy eventually, through this hole here, and then I've just got the whole cable at the minute coming out there, because that'll need to go to the negative bus bar on the fuse box. Right, so I'm going to crimp those last couple of terminals on, run another positive from the switch to the fuse box, and then I will connect it all up. Hopefully we'll have spotlights. Oh, God. Give me a heart attack.
You right there?
Yeah.
Can you little cubby hole?
Space is becoming an issue.
Yeah, but look how good it is.
But don't... Oh.
What?
I thought you was touching the electrics. Right, on that side there's some little red things.
Yep.
Can you pass me one? There should be 2 out of the packet.
There is none out of the packet.
Oh, well then just pass me one out of the packet.
2 out of the packet, yeah?
Yeah.
1, 2. So it's a good love story as well.
What is?
As well as all the sex.
Oh, you know you're on camera, right? Oh no, they're the wrong ones.
Cut that out then, won't you?
in that box down there, Emily, that cardboard box.
Yep.
They look just like this, but they got a circle bit on the end rather than a square bit. Right, what I've done so far is, because this is a mess and I haven't labelled any of this up, I've drawn myself a little diagram of what's going where, so I'm just going to fill that in because I'll forget. So that's going on to the first one, and then it's on the second one at the back. Yeah, and then once I've finished this and got it all in and tidied, I'll get some stuff. I can stick some stickers on here. It's going to want a fuse in there. Right, so it should be ready to turn on. So I've installed a cut-off switch so I can work on that fuse box. So I'll turn that back on. That's the big light over there that's just come on. So if I turn that off for a minute, in theory, I should flick this switch here, where it's all wired to, and they should, yes, yay! Come on. So there we go. So yeah, 1, 2. So yeah, that is the, I quite like them actually. What do you think? So by putting it at the back, you get that like reflection on the cladding, which I quite like. So I've put one there because there's going to be like a desk here, so whoever's up in the morning can still get on and do stuff if the other one's still asleep. And then there's one here because this is where the kettle's going to be. So most important thing, they're going to go on a different switch.
Oh.
Emily's very much involved in the process of design. Yep. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wire the ones for the bedroom in, get that done. That's probably going to take a couple of hours. And then I've got some little sensors for the fuel and whatnot, the gas and the, what's the other thing, water. So I'll get those wired in. And then the only thing left to wire in after that is probably going to be our Emily doesn't want to be on camera because she's stuffing her face.
Quavers.
Yeah, we know you're eating quavers, we can hear you. Yeah, so my water pump needs to be wired in, and then the solar, but we're not going to put the solar on until probably spring. So yeah, but that's basically how you wire up your 12-volt lights, I think. I hope anyway, because I've done it. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and follow along, and yeah, we'll see you next time.